Hi, my name is Braden. I own Built Different Fitness here in Evans. This is a part one video of our Sunday series. We're going to look at the science of sleep, and I'm going to offer you Built Different's methodology on how we go about solving the issues related to falling asleep and staying asleep. Thank you for watching our video, and I hope you learned something.
We're all wired to see sleep as lost time, a total blank space in our day. But what if that's just completely wrong? What if the most crucial, most important work for your brain, for your body, and for your health only happens after you've turned out the lights? When you sleep, your brain is actually firing up this highly specialized, super efficient cleaning crew that works, get this, exclusively on the night shift. Now, we are going to talk about the glymphatic system. Just think of it as your brain's own personal plumbing and waste disposal service. All day long, while you're thinking and working, your neurons are producing all this toxic metabolic junk. Well, this system is what comes in and clears all that gunk out, including really dangerous proteins like amyloid beta, which, as you might know, is directly linked to Alzheimer's disease. So, how does it pull this off so well? When you're in deep sleep, your brain cells literally shrink by up to 60%. It's this radical change that opens up these channels, creating all this extra space for fluid to rush in and just wash away all that metabolic garbage. And the result of that shrinkage, it's incredible. The entire cleaning system becomes 10 times more active during sleep than it is when you're awake. 10 times. It's like an industrial strength deep clean that just cannot happen when your brain is busy. Being conscious and dealing with the world. So what is it that tells our body, okay, time to clean? Well, it's all regulated by this really elegant two-process model. So you've got process S, which is your sleep drive. Think of it like a pressure cooker. A chemical called adenosine builds up every single moment you're awake, and that just steadily increases the pressure to sleep. But at the same time, you've got process C, your 24-hour internal clock or circadian rhythm. It sends out an alerting signal all day to fight that sleep pressure. Then when night comes, that alert signal fades away and the sleep pressure from process S finally wins out. But here's the problem. In our modern world, we've become accidental experts at messing up this beautiful biological dance. So let's take a look at a few of the biggest culprits that are just throwing this whole system into total chaos. Now, light is the main signal for our circadian clock, but not all light is the same. Just look at this chart. It shows what happens to melatonin, that's the hormone of darkness that signals bedtime, after just 2 hours of light, and the difference is staggering. Blue light, the kind that's blasting out of our phones and screens, absolutely crushes our melatonin levels. But red light, it's so much less disruptive, it lets melatonin bounce back. So that late night scroll you're doing, it's literally screaming at your brain, hey, it's the middle of the day, stay awake. Lack of movement and exercise also affects our ability to sleep. Our bodies evolved to be active, and that activity sends really important timing signals to our internal clock. And the research is crystal clear on this. A sedentary lifestyle just throws our circadian rhythm completely out of whack. It needs that rhythm of activity and rest to work right. Without it, the signals get all muddy and your sleep quality just tanks. And finally, there's this thing that scientists call social jet lag. When you sleep in super late on the weekends, you're pretty much putting your body on a totally different time zone. This creates this jarring mismatch with your internal clock, and that groggy, foggy feeling you get on Monday morning, that's your brain struggling with actual jet lag, even though you never left your house. So what happens when these saboteurs win night after night? Well, the cost is way, way higher than just feeling a little groggy. We are talking about serious systemic damage to your body. Recent research has shown that staying up late one night is enough to change the profile of your immune cells so that they start to behave like the cells of someone with obesity, a condition defined by chronic inflammation. The damage to your immune system is that fast and that severe. Lack of sleep also sends your metabolic hormones into absolute chaos. It cranks up ghrelin, the hormone that screams, I'm hungry. And at the exact same time, it slams the brakes on leptin, the hormone that says, hey, you're full. It is a perfect biological recipe for overeating and weight gain, all programmed by a lack of sleep. And it isn't just your body that takes a hit. Your brain literally starts to run out of fuel. Brain scans show that without enough sleep, the prefrontal cortex, which is basically the CEO of your brain, responsible for reasoning and good judgment, shows way less glucose metabolism. It's running on fumes, and that's exactly why your focus and your decision making just fall off a cliff. Now we are going to address a framework called the BUILT protocol. It's a really simple acronym to describe the 5 key pillars we recommend to follow when it comes to getting better sleep. You start with B, which is bed association, then U, unwind and unplug. Next is I, intake and intensity, followed by L, light and location, and finally T, temperature and timing. Each one is a lever you can pull to get your biology back on your side. Let's get our first look at this system with B, bed association. This is all about retraining your brain. We need to see our bed as a place for rest and absolutely nothing else. The whole goal is really simple. You want to break the mental link your brain has made between your bed and the feeling of frustration. You want to replace it with a new, powerful automatic connection. Bed equals sleep. Period. And yeah, this does require a little discipline. The rule is simple, but it's firm. Your bed is only for sleep and intimacy. That's it. No working from bed, no eating in bed, no scrolling on your phone or watching TV. Every time you do one of those things, you're just confusing the signal and teaching your brain that the bed is actually a place for being awake and alert. This brings us to probably the most powerful tool in the whole process, the 20-minute rule. If you're lying in bed and you're still awake after what feels like 20 minutes, the rule is you have to get up just lying there. Fighting it only builds anxiety and frustration. Instead, go to another room, do something calming and kind of. Pouring in low light and only coming back to bed when you genuinely feel sleepy again. This is how you break the cycle. This is how you reach your brain. The new rule next you is for unwind and unplug. This is all about creating a buffer zone before bed, a time to actively shift your nervous system from that go, go, go mode into a restful state. You've got to put away your phone, your tablet, your computer at least an hour before you actually want to be asleep. And the reason is super simple. That blue light blasting out of our screens is a powerful signal to your brain that it's daytime, and it actively shuts down the release of melatonin, your sleep alarm. This chart represents how light affects your sleep. Blue light absolutely tanks your melatonin production, but look at the difference with red light. If you need light in the evening, switching to dim, warm, or even red tinted lamps is a much, much safer bet. It sends the right signal to your body that the day is winding down. Now, beyond just ditching the screens, you can create relaxation rituals to actively calm your nervous system. Things like non-sleep, deep rest, or NDR are amazing guided protocols designed to help your brain transition towards sleep. Other really powerful techniques are progressive muscle relaxation, where you tense and then release different muscle groups, or a 10-minute stretch has been shown to reduce cortisol before sleep and also serves to benefit circulation and mobility long term. All right, on to I, intake and intensity. What you put into your body and how you move it has a massive direct impact on your sleep. So let's start with this number, 5 hours. What do you think this means for your sleep? Hint, it's the average half-life of caffeine. That means 5 hours after your afternoon coffee, half of that caffeine is still active in your system, and in another 5 hours, 1/4 of it is still there. So the safest bet is a hard cutoff about 8 to 10 hours before bed. For most of us, that's no caffeine after 2 p.m. It literally works by blocking the sleep pressure signals we talked about earlier, tricking your brain into thinking it's not tired. So what about that classic nightcap? Well, it's a trap. Sure, alcohol can make you feel drowsy and help you fall asleep faster. But here's the catch. As your body starts to metabolize it, it completely wrecks your sleep architecture. Later in the night, it fragments your sleep, kicks you out of deep sleep, and just ruins the overall quality. You wake up feeling like you barely slept at all? Okay, next let's look at L, light and location. This one is all about using your environment to send really clear, consistent signals to your internal body clock. Think of light as the master anchor for your entire day. Getting outside for at least 30 minutes of natural daylight as soon as you can after waking up is one of the most powerful things you can do. It sets a strong circadian rhythm and basically starts the countdown timer for melatonin release that night. Then in the evening, you do the exact opposite. You create a sleep cave as dark, as quiet, and as cool as you can possibly make it. That brings us to our final pillar, tea temperature and timing. These are two of the most important but often overlooked tools you can utilize for incredible sleep. Now, this might seem kind of chilly, but science consistently shows that a bedroom somewhere between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit is the absolute sweet spot for high quality sleep. And trust me, there's a very specific biological reason for this. That's because temperature isn't just about what feels comfortable, it's a biological signal sent to your brain that it's time to rest. You see, for your body to initiate and maintain deep sleep, your core body temperature actually needs to drop by a couple of degrees. A cool room doesn't just feel nice, it actively helps your body make that critical transition. It's a powerful trigger for rest. Finally, we come to what might be the single most. An important rule of them all, timing your wake-up time has to be non-negotiable. Getting up at the same time every single day, and yes, I mean on weekends too, is the strongest possible anchor for your circadian clock. It builds incredible sleep pressure for the following night and prevents what scientists call social jet lag. So the big takeaway here is this good sleep isn't something that just magically happens to you. It's something you actively build habit by habit, night after night. By using these principles, you can stop fighting against your own biology and start working with it. Your day, your energy, your mood. It all starts the night before. So the only question is, are you ready to build a better one?